Welcome to my show, Trendsetters. Well, I've come up with a new idea of tea startup. I'm in Tea Hub, and they have come up with new idea that's really excites me. A great platform to come together between students and professionals. Something going in your mind? Don't get confused. There's so many things to explore about this. And he's a man who created something really different. He can solve many problems and new idea. So we always crave for new ideas, right? New businesses, new ideas, what else we want. So let's find out more about what was his journey, how what he gone through, and what you can get more about it. Thank you, Pankajit, for joining iDream Media, and it was a great pleasure to meet you. As I was just seeing your T-shirt, your brand, it's talentform.I. So I was just getting into my mind. Let me get into the details. Like, what is the history behind it about this name? If we
Thank you,
can
Neha ji.
explore it,
Thank you for
yeah.
this opportunity.
Hmm.
Well, you were just talking about a new idea, right? So
Yeah.
Talent Farm is definitely talentfarm.ai is definitely a new idea, but it's solving a very old problem.
Hmm.
If I go back about 25, 30 years back when I was sitting in engineering college, I remember people talking about the gap between academia and industry. You see, you have to understand in India, you have a very typical problem where you have more than 10 lakh engineering graduates who are coming out of colleges and searching for job opportunities. There's a lot of despair about not getting proper job opportunities. And paradoxically, on the other side, you have industry, startups all scrambling for good talent.
Yes.
So it's a huge talent paradox. And what talentfarm.ai is trying to do is solve this talent paradox. We created a platform which is AI based platform where we source problem statements from our industry partners. We also put some incentives on these problem statements because this generation apparently likes challenges and does only when there are incentives attached to that. So looking at that psychology, we bring real life challenges from our partner companies, from our industry partners in various domains like agriculture, health, manufacturing, all kinds of areas. We also provide them a lot of learning resources and we provide them a lot of mentor access. That's another big missing point if you see in our colleges, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So we've onboarded more than 150 mentors. And apart from just providing mentoring, these are also people who become role model for these kids. Imagine a student studying in a remote place getting to meet a senior professional from Microsoft, Google, or the likes of such companies, or even a startup founder who has built his career from the scratch, right? That's when there's fuel that gets generated in the body of these youngsters, and they say, oh, I can also become like this, or can I even become 10% of this person? So we're putting this all this together, and then while the student solves these challenges over a period of 4 to 6 months, there's a AI buddy which constantly monitors their progress, nudges them to do their work, and also gives feedback. Because if you see today, students are often told they are good or bad. There is no data, there is no evidence, there is no continuous feedback to give them that. Students also resign to the fact that my faculty will always call me a bad person, my
Okay.
parents will always call me a bad guy. होता है ना घर में कि
Yeah.
भाई ये तो
Criticism.
नालायक है, ये कुछ काम का ही नहीं है. So
Criticism.
there's an impression which gets created, and whether we like it or not, all are biased. Once we create an impression, we continue that impression. Whereas what we are doing is the student gets a feedback from an unbiased AI engine which continuously gives the feedback. That means the student has a chance to improve, and the student cannot challenge that feedback because it is based on evidence. For example, let's say there's an interaction like this with a mentor. We also capture whether the student was proactive in asking questions or not, or
Oh.
if the mentor has given a feedback, has he applied the feedback or not. And all that is done as a in a friendly way. So most probably the interaction would start something like this. The buddy would probably start by asking, did you watch the match yesterday? How was the match yesterday? And you know, the weather was very good yesterday. Did you go out somewhere? And then slowly also say, hey, you remember you had a interaction with Neha and she gave some feedback. Have you applied that? There's also some assignment that you have to submit. So we're changing the whole paradigm, how students are treated, how we behave with students, because I think this generation wants to have that kind of respect, wants to have that kind of importance. So looking at the psychology of the youngsters and the need of the industry, we're building this. Now, as the student progresses, solving these problems, building these solutions, there's a profile that gets created of the student with score.
Okay.
What are his positive traits? What are the areas he has to improve? And this is what we show to the companies, recruiters, and startups and monetize. So that's the whole story of Talent Farm. The reason we call it Talent Farm because we invite the companies to start working with the students while they are in first year, second year of engineering, and they can actually farm their talent by the time they come out of college. So
Wow.
that's the logic behind
Good,
Talent Farm.
must say. But I wanted to know like how you can do all this process, how it goes. Like there is like they have to come and join it or register themselves, how the procedure
So it's a
goes.
very simple two-step onboarding process. In fact, we are very proud to say that we have recently launched math.talentfarm.ai. This is actually in collaboration with Math, which is Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence Technology Hub.
Maths comes, we feel like it's a subject, maths.
This is
Yeah,
Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence
yeah.
Technology Hub. The whole of seventh floor of T Hub is Math. It's a center of excellence, which is a
Okay.
joint venture between T Hub
Okay.
and DST, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So the
Oh,
students also get the advantage of a co-certification with Math. And like I said, they just have to log into the portal. And incidentally, the good part about all this is we don't charge anything to the students. We just have a small seriousness fee for the
oh.
students, because our model is to monetize it with the companies, because they spend 3 to 6 months
Yeah.
grooming the candidates, spend lakhs of rupees.
Mm-hmm.
So we are telling the company that you don't have to do that any longer. We'll be presenting you the Janam Kundli or the Karam Kundli of the student in such a way, of the candidate in such a way, that you can onboard them right from day
How
one.
much like you said, there is no fee. Then what is the registrant?
There's a small seriousness fee of 500 rupees,
So
because
how
we
long
just,
you can utilize at
at
500?
least for a year,
So for a year, you can groom yourself. You get a platform where you can know your weaknesses, your positive points, everything,
and get placed
and get placed.
at a remuneration which is higher than what they would get in their college. That is also our guarantee.
There must be a lot of reiki out of that. It's not that easy job for you as a startup. What challenges
It's
you were
not an
facing?
easy job as a startup, but fortunately, both me and my co-founder Sudarshan Tyagarajan, we've spent a lot of time in this industry. For example, all my career I've spent in this industry for the last 20 years.
Wow.
Had another startup, Idealaz, where we've been working with colleges and universities across India, more than 150 colleges and universities. There we have trained more than 10 lakh students in the last 20 years. But if you see the need of this country, you need 20 lakhs or 10 lakh students every year to be trained. That's the kind of demand, that's the kind of supply that we have. So that's where we realize that having an AI platform will help us scale. So the whole AI, Gen AI kind of thing has come as a godsend opportunity for us. So we are using the latest technology of AI and our experience and domain knowledge and combining these two. We already have access to market. Just 2 days back, we signed an MOU with more than 60 universities and colleges on one platform. I cannot imagine any other private organization being able to get
So
together.
then how what professional kind of come on board? On what basis
So
you
as of now,
take
this
the
is
professionals?
this is for students of engineering stream, especially focused on computer science and allied fields. But over a period of time, we plan to expand it to all other streams of engineering, and also plan to expand it to working professionals. Because if you see, for example, if I am a professional working in a company, and let's say I have been working on traditional technology like Java or .NET, or I have been working in testing related area, and now I want to get on to AI area. How do I prove my potential recruiter that I also have the knowledge, right?
True.
Typically in a resume, though, everyone writes that I am good, I have done this, I have done that. Whereas if that candidate comes on our platform, builds a solution, solves a problem, then there's an authentic proof of what he has done. So there is evidence backed story everywhere. For us also, when we go to the companies and recruiters, we don't tell them we are a great finishing school, we have great trainers, we have great pedagogy. Of course, we have all that. But the fact is, we say there's an AI engine which has measured every aspect of the candidate. Please look at that and take your decision. So it's all
Oh,
evidence based. It's
so
all
how
data based.
little bit of demo can you show
Oh,
us
of
how it
course, of
works
course,
so
sure.
that
Sure. So I'll probably share with you the demo of math.talentfarm.ai.
normal guy, that was a very good, interesting point. The people
Absolutely.
from
So,
rural area,
yes.
like how they wanted to be in the cities.
I'm glad you brought this, because our punchline or our tagline is democratizing opportunities for students and democratizing talent for companies. And let
Yes.
me take a minute to explain
Yeah.
this. You see, even today in 2024, companies only go to branded colleges.
Yes.
Whereas you know, and we all know, that talent is not a proprietary of any particular
Brand
college
or
or geography.
something. That is true.
Right? So our endeavor is to give access to students of tier 2, tier 3 colleges from tier 2, tier 3 cities, because they can now compete and have a level playing field. Similarly, on the other side, whatever scarce talent or limited talent is there, that is all absorbed by big, large MNCs. Right? And our startups are left high and dry, and that's actually scuttling the innovation. So now we are also telling the startups, you don't have to worry that there's only limited talent. You can log into our platform and have a curated talent for your